Hello, everyone. I hope that your day is off to a really good start. We are starting today in The Big Nothing on page 145. So if you need to pause this video and take a moment to get there, there's also a digital copy of the book on Schoology in our class folder. So if you forgot your book at home, make sure that you are opening the digital copy to follow along. As I read, there are going to be questions that pop up on the screen. Remember, 100% of the work you do for the substitute is going to be graded. So please answer the questions to the best of your ability. Pause the video and listen again or look back if you need to find answers that you didn't get the first time. And do your best throughout the entire class period. So when I get back, after I'm officially married, yay, I will be able to give you a really good grade for your report card. Here we go, starting on page 145, where it says, Dear Dwayne. Dear Dwayne, I carried Jemmy up the stairs. She put her arms around my neck and everything. She couldn't walk because she hurt herself running. Still, it was kind of cool. I didn't drop her or anything. Dad blew the Wednesday deadline. He didn't come home. When he called, I said, like a game show buzzer and hung up on him. If he doesn't need us, we don't need him. You, me, and Mom would be a decent family. Plus, if you were here, you could give me your useless girl-getting tips in person. Meanwhile, don't worry about us. I'm okay, and Mom is vertical most of the time. By the way, do you know that millions of people all over the world are demonstrating against going to war? We saw them on TV shaking signs and chanting, "No blood for oil!" That might slow things down. Justin. P.S. Girls are heavier than they look. Turn the page. Friday, February 21st. Leroy gazes after Ben and a bunch of guys with gloves who are all headed for the softball field. I should be on that team, he complains. He says the same thing at the start of each new sports season. Leroy can't go out for anything because he has to watch his brother. I'm better than Lucas, better than Weller too. Jemmy tells him to stuff it. Leroy eyes the cane she's leaning on. You want to make me, Granny? She swats him with her cane, hard. It's the first day of official track practice, and Jemmy has to sit out. She's just waiting for her grandmother to pick her up. Leroy, Clay, and I are waiting too. Nana doesn't care how many of us pile in the back of the truck as long as we keep our butts parked. As she pulls up, I read the lettering on the door panel of the truck. Lewis Painting, interior, exterior, no job too small. I've read it before, but never thought about it much. The painting business probably belonged to Jemmy's dad. I bet Mrs. Lewis got the truck in the divorce, but that would be kind of weird. If he had a painting business, he'd still need the truck. I climb in back, and it hits me. He wouldn't need it if he was dead. But Mr. Lewis can't be dead. He'd be too young. He's someplace else, hanging out with his new family. As the truck bottoms out, going over the lip of the school driveway, I think, but what if he is dead? I had a friend, Jake Larson, who died in 3rd grade. If a 3rd grader isn't too young, nobody is. I watched the road through a rusty hole in the truck bed. I bet I'm the only one who thinks about this stuff. I tried to talk to Ben about it a couple of times, but he freaked. Ben thinks about things like getting more speed on his fastball. I watched the back of Jemmy's head through the window of the truck cab. Nana Grace has her isolated up front to protect her leg. Does she ever think about dying? Maybe I'll ask her. Great way to get next to a girl, says Dwayne. Talk about death. I check out the guys in the back of the truck with me. Leroy is tattooing his wrist with a ballpoint. Clay is throwing crackers left over from lunch into the air and catching them in his mouth. They don't seem worried. And suddenly, I feel the wind, and everything seems faster, better. The trees on Roberts flash by. I play a quick scale on the leg of my jeans. I wish I could get to Mr. Somer and make something up. That would help too. But no track practice for Jemmy means no piano practice for me. Or so I think. When we pull into the Lewis's driveway, Clay, Leroy, and I pile out of the back of the truck. I open the door for Jemmy. Still seated inside, she hooks me with her cane. You're coming with me, Big. What about me? Leroy asks, crowding in. Not you, just Big. She climbs out of the truck and taps his butt with the cane. She doesn't really seem to need it to walk, but she's been using it as a weapon all day. It's time for his piano lesson. I need a lesson, please, Leroy begs, but she shakes her head. He turns to me for help. Justin, you want me to come with you, right? I let Jemmy march me up the steps at cane point like this is all beyond my control. Leaving Leroy on the driveway looking. Inside, Nana Grace takes Artie's sweater off and then holds out a cheek. Jemmy gives her the kiss she didn't get when we were inside of the school. Then Jemmy turns to me. Make sure you turn the page to 148. Big, I'm going to teach you how to read music. Okay, I joke, right after you cure cancer. Then I see she's serious. Wait, no way. Ask Nana Grace. I play by ear. Nana? But Nana Grace just waves Artie's sweater at me. Won't hurt you none to sight read. Going to have to if you really want to use that talent of yours. Talent? What talent? I just fool around. Jemmy prods my back with her cane, pushing me toward the piano. No way, I say. You'll mess it up. The cane tip hits the floor. Mess what up? My music. I've heard Jemmy play, and I don't want to play like her. She sounds the way a paint-by-the-numbers picture looks. The notes are right, but they sound dead. The stuff I play just sort of happens, I explain. I don't want to screw it up. Beethoven had music in his head, says Nana Grace, folding Artie's sweater. Duke Ellington, too. They both dead and gone. Good thing their stuff's wrote down. I never heard of Duke Ellington, but I know about Beethoven. He's way up there on the famous dead guy list, like Shakespeare. Yeah, but I'm definitely not Beethoven. Nana slings Artie up on a hip. Even Beethoven wasn't Beethoven when he started out, she calls back to me as she climbs the stairs. He was just a kid with a few tunes in his head. Kinda like you. Can you remember the music you make up? Jemmy asks. Sure, I bluff. I mean, most of the time, I can. Jemmy strides over to Mr. Somer and runs a finger across the sheet music that lies open on the piano. What if you could write it down? Like that? The music must be what she's practicing, but it doesn't mean a thing to me. It looks like a bunch of birds on telephone wires. Only because you can't read it. When I get done with you, you will. Is that a threat? I ask. When she glares, I take a deep breath. I guess I could give it a try. The words aren't out of my mouth before she's digging through the sheet music in the piano bench. She brings out a book with dingy pages and a torn cover. Easy piano pieces for little fingers. Instant regret. Piece number 1 is called The Kitty Cat. It even has words. Kitty cat, fluffy white kitty cat. It gets worse from there. Forget it, Jemmy. I don't think I can do this without barfing. Hey, are you listening? But she's left the room. I hear her rattling a drawer in the kitchen. She walks back in, pulling the cap off a black magic marker with her teeth. What's that for? Cap between her teeth, she grips my right hand and starts numbering my fingers. Hey, that tickles! And don't bother doing the other one. I already counted. I have 5 on that one too. Still holding the cap in her teeth, she jams the marker back into it. She taps a little curly cue at the beginning of the music with the marker. Today, we're going to work on the treble clef. Right hand only. You have to be way more advanced to use both. What are you talking about? I chime out a string of chords with my left hand, just to show her. She points to the 1 printed under the first note on the page, then prods the 1 written on my thumb. I feel like I'm back in the recorder band. We played by number then too. You played this with that, she says. Great, but what is this? I ask, staring at the dot with a handle printed above the 1. It's middle C. Hey, no kidding, middle C. It's like I'm meeting someone I've only talked to on the phone. I look at the 1 under the middle C and the 1 on my thumb and strike the key. Jemmy claps. Boy, are you easy to please, I say. She punches me in the kidney and continues with the lesson. Each space and line represents a different note, she says. The spaces are the notes F, A, C, and E. They spell face. You can remember the notes for the lines with every girl beats Doug frequently. Jemmy, says Nana Grace. She and Artie are coming down the stairs at Artie's speed. Okay. Most people say every good boy does fine, but mine sounds better. The note that follows the middle C is on the first line, with the number 3 printed under it. Whether girls are beating Doug or boys are doing fine, it's an E. I play it. All right, Jemmy yells. I follow the spots across the page, pecking at the keys. It's as if there are strings between the numbers on the sheet music and the numbers on my fingers. If I make a mistake, Jemmy points it out immediately. I begin to feel like Doug, the guy girls beat frequently. By the time I strike the final middle C, sweat is trickling down my sides. It took me 20 minutes to play the easy piece once. The kitty cat kicked my butt. That was really entertaining, I say. Thanks for the lesson. I launch into the tune I've been working on. It feels great. My fingers are my own again. Jemmy jabs the first middle C in the kitty cat and looks over at me again. Nana Grace, I call toward the kitchen, make her stop. You're on your own, boy, she calls back. I struggle through the kitty cat again. The notes seem disconnected, like the parts of one of Mr. Floyd's vehicles of promise spread out on the ground. I crawl to the end of the piece a second time. Tap. Her finger is back on that first middle C. You sure that leg doesn't feel good enough to take you for a little trot around the block? I ask her. She sags forward, her forearms on her thighs. I tried yesterday. I felt like I had flames shooting up my leg. She turns to me, scared. What if I can't run anymore, Big? Oh, you'll run again. Definitely. You heard your mom. Yeah, but when? I don't even feel like myself anymore. I know what she means. That's exactly how I feel when I get a tune in my head and can't play it. I escape by sliding into the big nothing. When she can't run, she bosses people around. Are you going to play or just sit there? She stabs the first note with her finger again. I play it again. Not bad, she says. The corners of her mouth turn up just a little. I might let you live. What she doesn't know is, having read my way through it a couple of times, I have the tune memorized. I'm back to playing by ear. Play it again, she says. Can we give it a rest? Maybe she's tired of hearing the kitty cat. Maybe she spent enough time hanging out with Mr. Somer, but she agrees. Nana gives us glasses of sweet tea. We sit on the porch, swinging in and out of the band of light at the edge of the floorboards. I never realized how slow everything is till I hurt my leg, she says. How do you stand it? There's nothing to do. Maybe you could show me Charlie Chaplin or Gone with the Wind. I can't today, I blurt out without thinking. It's just I feel like there's stuff I need to do to get ready. But what if that was my one chance? All right, I better go inside and practice myself, she says, taking the empty glass out of my hand. I'll see ya. You blew it, says Dwayne as soon as the door closes. He's right. I blew it. I just wasn't ready. Back home, the Giz greets me at the door. What's up, Gizzard Lizard? I pick him up. I'm scratching his head when I notice the numbers on my fingers. Hey, want to hear a tune? I play Kitty Cat, Fluffy White Kitty Cat on his furry side, trying to cheer myself up. Giz gives me a warning look. Okay. I go upstairs and take out Dwayne's keyboard. For the next part, you'll be reading independently, then answering questions on your own. Do your best. Make me proud. Thanks, everyone.